Hi guys, welcome back. Now in this video we are going to talk about Python debugger and how to debug your code. As you can see, the documentation, official documentation here, and you can go through this if you like. But today we will be learning this particular function here, which helps you to put a pause in your code at runtime so you can evaluate the variables at that point of time. So now let's start coding. That's the best way to explain something. So I've already imported the PDB module up here. You can do so if you haven't done that. And I just have this simple function that has two variable declaration, and we print those two variables on the screen. So what I want to do is I want to put the pause at the beginning of the function and evaluate the variables within that function at runtime. So I'm going to run this code now, which I've called the function here, do something function, and see what the PDB does with the setTrace function. Now I've run that, and let's put it side by side. So as you can see, we've got an interactive shell here that's running. And we can see the name equals to mat statement here. So what it's really telling us is the next line of code I'm going to execute is this code over here. And that makes sense because we have put a pause at the beginning of the function, so nothing has been executed. Now let's prove that by typing name. As you can see, name is not defined yet. That's because we have paused the execution of this function. And now to continue, you can type continue, and that will run the whole function, and there will be no pauses at all. So the whole function will run, the names will be printed, and you're done. But what we're going to do is we're going to put n, so that helps you go to next line. So once we hit n, now if we try to access that variable is now defined with the string mat. And let's go next again. You can see test is now has a reference to that string over there. And also let's do next. We're finally printed mat and 01 on the screen. And if we do next again, now Python is doing its own steps of wrapping up that function. And if we keep hitting next, we will eventually exit this function and the Python interpreter. So if we do continue, that's the easiest way to get out when you have actually found what you're looking for. So as you can see, you can put that PDB set trace at any point in time. So let's set it at the end of the function and rerun this code. And we've again now have an interactive console. And remember, this function is currently running and you put a pause on it. So you can access the name variable again, test, anything you like, and you can continue whenever you like, and it will take you to the end of the function. So that's a really useful tool to debug, guys. You don't have to do 1,000 print statements everywhere. And even let's say you have a function here and you had an error, let's say test, and you did 6, that'll give us an index error. So let's just run that because that'll give us the error before it gets to pause the function. So it says string index out of range. So if you don't know what that means, then you will be doing prints over here, prints over here, prints over here, and you'll just be doing so many print statements where you can just do PDB set trace and just play around with it. So let's do next. And if you want to do next again, or the last action that you took, you can just hit enter. It will take you to the next step. And now let's just do test 6, right? You'll see you get the index error. Oh, so what does that mean? Let's try text 1. That is also, sorry, test 1. That's giving us 1. Oh, I wonder what will test give us. So that's 0, 1. That means test 0 has 0, and test 1 is 1. So that's That's the index of this text. So 0 has the 0th index and 1 has the first index in this test string. So therefore, what I'm trying to do is something really stupid. I'm trying to access something that doesn't exist. Therefore, I'm getting the index error. So it makes it a lot more smoother process to find the bugs in your program. Hopefully you'll find that useful, and also you can go through this documentation that will also help you to clear out any confusion you have. I hope that was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching.